Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. So, trying to stick to my schedule and do a movie review every week. So this week, I went to see Widows. Widows is a movie starring Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Liam Neeson, and there's a few other names there. It's directed by Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen was directed 12 Years a Slave. So we talking about an Oscar-winning director right here. So Widows was originally a book, I believe, and I know they made it was a British production of this made. I'm not sure if it was a British book, but it could have been. But it was like a TV movie, so it was already made. So this is the American version. So basically, your main premise, your main storyline is 4 professional thieves died during a heist, and all their widows have come together to finish their last job. You know, that's the premise they set up. That's what the trailers made it look like, but it wasn't quite that. And this movie kind of set up to be like a fun heist movie. You know, all the elements were there. You know, this could have been the female version of Ocean's 11. You know, I know they just did Ocean 8, but this would have been the rated R female version of Ocean 11. Let's talk about some of the performances. Viola Davis did a great job as usual, but she got to be careful because she's going to be typecast pretty soon because she's channeling Amanda Waller. She's going to be typecast as a cold-hearted bitch character, and she starting to play that. I'm saying it like, what's that show she got? How to Get Away with Murder, Suicide Squad. This right here, she can play that character well, but she has range to do other things, as you can see, like in Fences and other things. But I'm looking like, damn, they always got her playing the cold-hearted bitch, okay? So her character is pretty much the brains of the operation, and she was kind of like a cold-hearted. She was kind of like the stern, hey, no joking, we got to get this shit done, you know, which I can understand because their life was on the line. The other girls the other widows kind of didn't really get that until later on in the movie that this was life and death. She didn't really tell them how serious it was until later. Okay, so she was the brains of the operation, and she was, you know, real, you know, cold in her delivery on whatever, you know. She didn't care about nobody's emotions. Mind you, she used to be a teacher, so maybe that is some of her. The way she used to teach her students or whatever is how she used to talk to them. So, and then we got Michelle Rodriguez's character, which was she was the mother. She's the only one with the kids, and she's the one who owned the boutique. And her character was one of those useless characters, I swear. And it's kind of a switch for her because she always played a competent, strong female. But in this one, she was that useless female that couldn't do nothing. That was the first one complaining. She was always complaining, and then she couldn't do nothing right. So you know, because Viola Davis' character kind of like gave all them jobs to do, and the other girls, everybody else completed their jobs, and she could never do her job right, and she was always complaining about something. And I was like, oh yeah, she's one of those characters. And you know, you always gonna have them characters in there, but it was just weird to see Michelle Rodriguez as one of those characters. She's always the tough, scrappy female, you know. But she's real cute, so she kind of like the cute, tough lesbian. You know, she look like the female boxer or whatever, but the cute ones. So I don't know. It was just kind of the cast when the casting didn't really match the character for her. And then you had Elizabeth Debicki, if I say her name right. I'm not sure if I said it right. She's I think she's like British or no, I forget. She's somewhere. She might be American, but she was American in the movie. But anyway, She is she was the one that didn't the widow that didn't really have a job. Her husband was taking care of her, so they kind of played her up as the dumb blind. But it's so funny. She was the most competent female out the whole group because she ended up doing. When I started thinking about it, she ended up doing all the stuff they need to get done because Michelle Rodriguez character's got jobs, and she give it to her like, "Hey, can you do this?" She do that too. So they had her get all the equipment. She finding this out. She doing all the plans. I'm looking like, damn, she actually the most competent fucking person on the squad. You know what I'm saying? But yet everybody's talking to her like she's just some dumb airhead. And I'm looking like, okay, no, she actually getting the shit done. You know, for real, the dumb airhead is Michelle Rodriguez's character that's not doing shit but complaining. So it was an okay setup. You know, it was an okay setup, but the execution was off. The editing was very choppy. It was just certain scenes in there just didn't feel right. They didn't feel like they belonged. And in the middle of the movie, not even at the end, the middle of the movie, they gave away something that they looked like they was holding back to the end. So it was a reveal, but you gave it away in the middle. And I'm looking like that's a major blunder for a movie like this. So they gave away a reveal at the end, in the middle, and you kind of left wondering like, why would they show that? It was one of them moments. And by the time they got to the end, they went back to that element, and you wasn't even surprised, you know. And it was kind of like okay, let's wrap this up. So let's add. So you got your fourth widow, but she actually wasn't a widow. She was actually a friend of one of the widows. She was Michelle Rodriguez's friend character, and that's played by I think her name is Cynthia Erivo or something. I can't remember how you say her name. I believe she is British. Now I call this is the Winston effect. Now, why I say the Winston is from Ghostbusters. Everybody know Winston was the black guy. It was Ernie Hudson character. He was the help. He was the extra pair of hands. So when you got your main characters, when they just needed one more person, they just grab somebody, you know. So she was the person that didn't have nothing to do with the whole thing, but they just, hey, we need some help, and you know, I need some money, so you know. But she was okay. Now, she's a very physically imposing young lady. She's very fit. Now, her arms are jacked. They did not even talk about this. And she, for some reason, always had on tank tops. So I guess she was, maybe she was into fitness or something. They didn't really explicitly say that. But they could have just throw out a little nugget or something like, oh, I used to run track or something, because her legs are very strong, and she's a very thick young lady, but not thick as in fat, thick as in she looked like she really works out a lot. And it's very, very cute too. So she was kind of like, she was there to add just that fourth member, because one of the widows, it was supposed to be four, but one of them couldn't do it. And so now let's talk about the heist. The whole heist element of it was kind of just so. You know, they build up. You wanted to see. Okay, let's see like in Ocean's 11, we see the big build up, all the training montage of how you gonna pull this heist off, and let's see it all come together. And in a minute something go wrong, we're gonna see how they gonna handle that. No, it was just a smash and grab. It was a simple smash and grab, and all they had to do was go in there, knock one person out, take the money, and drive off. That's it. It wasn't no it wasn't no elaborate Ocean's 11 kind of heist where they had to pull cons off and all that. None of that. It was just a smash and grab. So the heist itself was not real. It wasn't real exciting. It was okay though. It was okay. And then your end, by the time you got to your ending, it was very anticlimactic. And And I was like, well, you gave away your big reveal in the middle of the movie, so it didn't talk to me at all, you know. So, and that's why I said the editing was real bad, because it was scenes in there that felt like they didn't really belong, or they was added later, and you know, and then it was just kind of over. You know, you got Daniel Kaluuya, the star from Get Out, very talented. Now he's British, I know that, but he do a real good American accent, and you can't even tell he's British. He was having fun with this henchman-like role, where I was like seeing him, but it was still kind of unrealistic on how he was just basically trying to be like super evil, and he was just being so evil that I heard, you know, other people talk about this movie. They was just like, "Oh, I can't wait till he die." So I'm like, you know what? That means he's doing his job. He's playing a bad guy, and you want him to die in the movie, so he's doing his job. So he did a good job. Looked like he was just having a little too much fun with the role, though. But like I said, I love all the performances. All the actors and actresses were superb. It was just the writing and the editing that really took this movie down. So I'm gonna give it a rating real quick. I rate this movie on my rating scale. I rate this movie at just all right. I'm gonna give it all right because it still was entertaining, despite the bad editing and the bad editing, and some of the pacing was kind of slow, but I was still entertained. I was entertained enough to stay with it. It didn't lose me, and I was waiting for this heist to jump off, and the heist was not great, but it wasn't the worst. So it wasn't a complete letdown, but it wasn't a big triumph. So I give it all right. So I mean, that's good that you didn't get a whack, because it was real close to that whack, but it stayed at least enough to be an all right. So yeah, that is my rating for this movie, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I mean, what else to say? So that is my review for Widows. It was all right. It's probably one of them you want to wait to get on the DVD, or I'm sorry, Redbox or video on demand or Netflix, and it'll be an enjoyable movie to watch on Netflix, but it ain't nothing that I would want to pay money to see again. So, all right, that is my review for Widows. Thanks for checking out my video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm out of here. All right, peace.